So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel once again. In the last class what we have talked about is resonance in a molecule like this, which was benzene, and we talked how the resonance was responsible for making all the bond lengths of benzene equal. And finally we came to the one single conclusion, that it's the movement of pi electrons in a system that is going to give you resonance. If there are no pi electrons in the system, then there is not going to be any kind of resonance in that particular molecule. Since benzene in this case has 3 double bonds, so 3 into 2, 6 pi electrons, so benzene can show resonance. It's not because of the sigma bonds, but it's because of the pi bonds that you get to see resonance in a molecule like benzene. So presence of pi electrons in a system is a must. It might so happen that there are pi electrons in a system, but they don't have an opportunity to move around. If they don't have an opportunity, then resonance will not be occurring in a system like that. But in cases where the pi electrons gets a chance of delocalizing, if it gets a chance of delocalizing, then it will definitely do it. In the case of benzene, what we told was that it was taking assistance of a sigma bond. So we wrote something like this. It was something of this nature, where the pi electrons were taking assistance of a sigma bridge in order to move around or delocalize itself. So this was about benzene. Now what we are going to talk about in this lecture, and a few lectures from this as well, are the conditions which are responsible for resonance. As in, if you are drawing a different number of structures, then there must be some kind of conditions which, if it follows, then only we can say that these are the resonating structures of this supposedly molecule. Means suppose this is molecule A and this is molecule B. If A and B has to be resonating structures, then certain conditions needs to be followed, and we are going to study those conditions in details in this video and in the following videos as well. So the first necessary condition for a structure to be a resonating structure is the relative position of the atoms should not change. That is, the basic sigma skeleton should remain the same. What does this mean? This simply means that you see this is suppose Ca, Cb, Cc, Cd, Ce and Cf. So the basic sigma skeleton, that is the Cb-Cc sigma bond, remains intact. You see it does remain intact. The Cb-Cc sigma bond, the sigma skeleton, the sigma bond remains intact. The Cc-Cd sigma bond, this also remains intact. A pi bond might have been added because of the movement of pi electrons, but it doesn't affect the nature of the sigma bond. The sigma bond remains the same. That's why we say that the basic sigma skeleton of a system should remain the same if you have to say this structure to be a resonating structure of this. So in this case, if you consider example like this is a molecule acetone. Okay, so if you consider a molecule like this, and if you say that this is a resonating structure of acetone, then this is not true, because you can see in this case there was a C double bond O, where one of them was a sigma bond, one of them was a pi bond, whereas in this case a new atom H has been added to O, and though this sigma bond stays here, but a new H has been added, and whereas there was no such bond here, a bond has been formed here, whereas new bond formation might take place, new pi bond formation might take place in this in cases of resonance, but in this case a new sigma bond has also been formed. This is not allowed. You see, if I draw this like this, then you can easily understand this is a new sigma bond, and you cannot alter the basic sigma skeleton of a system. So this cannot be regarded as a resonating form of this acetone. Then what is it? This is something known as tautomerism. We will get to know this in the subsequent lectures when we go to tautomerism, but as of now it is sufficient for you to understand that this is not a resonating structure, because had it been a resonating structure, then this new OH sigma bond is not allowed to be formed. If it has been formed, then there's definitely something which is happening in the system, but we cannot tell it resonance since a new sigma skeleton has been formed. New sigma bond has been formed, and that's why the sigma skeleton in this case has been altered, which is not the case in benzene. As we go and see other examples, then we will get to know that only the sigma bond skeleton has to remain the same if the molecule, if that structure has to be a resonating structure of another thing. Now let's move on and study how to draw resonating structures. So this one is a molecule. Now if you have to draw resonating structures of this, we are trying to give you a basic fundamental approach of how to draw resonating structures. Okay, so in this case you can write this molecule. If you are new to this, then you can write this molecule like this. Now let us consider the example of water. Okay, the example of water, H2O. So what is the electronic configuration of oxygen? According to your class 10 knowledge, it should be something like this, 2 6. That means 6 electrons are present in the valence shell of oxygen, and you know very well that while formation of bonds is the valence electrons that actually participate. So these 6 electrons are going to participate in bond formation with other atoms, that is hydrogens in this case. The atoms, both this O and H are going to contribute one each. So both this O and H are going to contribute each. So one bond means 2 electrons. If it is a sigma bond, then both the atoms are going to share its part of electrons, and both the atoms are going to give it 1 electron each. So in this bond, 1 electron is being contributed from oxygen, 1 more from hydrogen. This is same as well. So you can see that oxygen utilizes 2 of its electrons in formation of 2 sigma bonds with these 2 hydrogens. So how many electrons are left? Now you can understand 4 electrons are left. Then where will those 4 electrons go? These 4 electrons will reside as two lone pair of electrons on this oxygen atom in case of water. So what did we learn? That water is a molecule where there are 2 lone pairs of electrons on this central oxygen atom. In this case as well, it's going to be the same, because in this case, if you can understand, on one side there is H, on one side there is CH, and it is so on. But in this case as well, this is a covalent bond. In case of a covalent bond, both the atoms are going to contribute 1 electron each, and that's why oxygen is going to be left with 4 electrons that are going to reside as 2 lone pairs of electrons. So in this case as well, oxygen has 2 lone pairs of electrons over it. So we can write these 2 lone pairs of electrons like this. Now one more thing, this you should keep in mind while drawing resonating structures. It will be a little bit easier for you if you think this way. If the migration of this, if the migration now, as of now, right, then I will explain what it is. If the migration is from an atom to a bond or bond to an atom, then follow this approach of top to middle and middle to top. Then what is it? You might be wondering what is it? Then I am going to show you in a few seconds what this means. In this case, first, whenever you are given a molecule, and you think that there is resonance in the system, then go for the pi electrons. Then see where the pi electrons are there, because resonance finally means the movement of pi electrons and the delocalization of pi electrons. So pi electrons has to be present in the system, and you need to find out where exactly those pi electrons are. In this case, this is a pi bond, this is a sigma bond, so there are two pi electrons here, and there are lone pairs of electrons. One more thing to remember is lone pairs of electrons are always pi electrons. Okay, so there are two pi electrons because of this double bond, and there are two lone pairs of electrons which are also pi electrons. Now how can you delocalize the electrons, because delocalization of electrons is something you are going to study, because in resonance it's the delocalization of pi electrons only. So now what we usually do is we will show this like this and this like this. So what have I done? I have done, this is top, this is top to the middle of a bond, and from the middle of a bond to the top of an atom. So top to middle and middle to top. This is the approach we are going to take if the migration is from atom to a bond or from bond to an atom. That is, in this case, you see it is from the top of an atom to a bond, from a bond to the top of an atom. So this is the approach we are going to take. And what is the resonating structure going to look like this? You see, from top to middle and from middle to top. I guess you understand this. I will tell you once more. So what is it? Oxygen in this case has two lone pairs of electrons. That is what we have explained here. It's the same like that of water. In case of water, there are two covalent bonds. In each covalent bond, you know, there is an equal contribution from both the atoms. So in this case, oxygen contributes one electron and hydrogen contributes one electron to this covalent bond. Same is the case with this bond. So oxygen is left with 4 valence electrons now. Where will those 4 valence electrons reside? They are going to reside on the top of oxygen as two lone pairs of electrons. So same is the case with this one. There is going to be two lone pair of electrons. And this, how to delocalize this, if you are trying to study the resonating structure of a system, then firstly look for the pi electrons in a system and see how you can delocalize it. In this case, you can delocalize it like this: top to middle, middle of this bond, and from the middle of this bond to the top of this atom. That's what is written. If it is an atom to bond migration or from a bond to atom migration, then just follow this approach of top to middle and middle to top, and that's what we have drawn here. And now let me try to explain you in a little bit easier way why these positive and negative charges. While drawing resonating structures, please remember this thing. What is this thing? Again, this is the mnemonic to remember how to draw. These are two electrons. Two electrons means one negative charge, and that means one bond. This is something which is going to be of immense help while you try to draw resonating structures. In this case, you see you have actually donated this lone pair of electrons to this bond, and that's why one more bond has been formed, because two electrons means one bond. Two electrons means one lone pair means one bond. That's what I have written here. Two electrons means one negative charge means one bond, and that's what has happened. Since this has migrated here, there will be formation of a bond here. Now you can understand, since this has given away electrons which are negatively charged, then it is bound to acquire a positive charge, and that's what has happened. If I have written the positive charge here, that does not mean that H has the positive charge. The positive charge actually resides on this oxygen atom. It's a convention to write like this. That does not mean that it is the H which has the positive charge. It is the oxygen atom which has the positive charge, since the electrons has left from the oxygen atoms itself. So again, two electrons has left. Two electrons means one negative charge. If one acquires two electrons, then it means it has acquired one negative charge, and if it has given away two electrons, that means it has actually acquired one positive charge. That's what has happened. it has given away 2 electrons, it has formed a bond over here, and that's why it has acquired a positive charge over here, because it has given away 2 electrons. Same is the case with this. If you understand, one bond means 2 electrons, that means one negative charge, and that's what has happened since this bond has migrated to the top of this carbon. So 2 electrons have shifted over here and we have represented it as one negative charge. So for drawing resonating structures, mind this mnemonic is going to be of much help. Now let us get into the next example, the example of this thing. What I have done is just replaced this H by a methyl group. Nothing much has changed. This H has been replaced by a methyl group. You can understand this has been replaced by a methyl group, and everything else remains the same. So in this case as well, oxygen is going to have 2 lone pairs of electrons over itself because it has got 2 covalent bonds, and the same logic applies here as well. So in this case as well, oxygen is going to have 2 lone pairs of electrons over itself, and these lone pairs of electrons are definitely going to delocalize itself the same way it has done over here. So what are we going to get? We are going to get somewhat like this. You might pause the video and write it by yourself and make yourself confident enough. So if we draw the resonating structure like this, from top to middle and from middle to top, that's what we have drawn, we are going to get something like this. This is almost the same like this, not almost the same, it's exactly the same as this. It's top to middle. Understand this plus and this plus doesn't make any difference. It simply means the plus is over this oxygen. In this case, for ease of understanding, I have kept the plus over this oxygen atom only. So this is how you are going to draw the resonating structures. In this case as well, it is top to middle and middle to top. This has acquired a positive charge since it is giving away 2 electrons, and this has acquired a negative charge since this is actually accepting 2 electrons. So 2 electrons means 1 negative charge, means 1 bond. This mnemonic is going to be of immense help when you are going to draw the resonating structures. We will be drawing resonating structures in the next video, in next subsequent videos as well, and we are going to utilize this concept pretty often. So the first condition of resonance what we studied was the sigma skeleton, the basic sigma skeleton of a system should remain intact. That is, there should not be formation of any new sigma bond, nor there be any depletion of a already formed sigma bond. The second condition of resonance here is the total charge on all the resonating structures must remain same. Mind this. This is a very important condition for a structure to be a resonating structure of another one. So let us take the basic example of benzene, what we started with. In this case, you see that this is a neutral molecule. Do you see any positive and negative charges over this molecule? You don't. So this is a neutral species. And in the resonating structure as well, do you see any positive or negative charges? You don't. So both the structures are neutral structures. So total charge on all resonating structures are the same. In this case as well, it was 0, and in this case as well, it is 0. So this condition is also to be satisfied in order that a structure be regarded as a resonating structure. So in this case, if you see, it is also like this. In this case, what was the total charge? The net charge over this molecule was 0. In this case, the net charge over this molecule is plus and minus. This is plus 1 and this is minus 1, and this sums up to be 0 only. So the total charge on this and on this resonating structure are the same. That's what we have told. In this case as well, this was 0, and here it is plus 1 and minus 1. This is also going to be 0 over here. So this condition is satisfied over here as well. So this is also, these two are also going to be resonating structures, and we can regard these two as resonating structures and these two as resonating structures as well. So this is one more condition, and mind this is one of the very vital conditions that has to be satisfied. So the total charge on all the resonating structures has to be the same. Now let us get into some more examples of resonance and how to draw resonating structures utilizing the concept of this top to middle and middle to top and this simple mnemonic. So let us get into it. This is a molecule, you know, this is phenol. This is phenol. This is again a case like this. So you can understand, this is O, this is H. Again this has two lone pairs of electrons over itself because it's the same as that of water. In this case, this has been replaced by this group. But that does not change anything actually. This bond consists of one electron from oxygen, one electron from this carbon, and in this case this bond is made up of one electron from this hydrogen and one electron from this oxygen, and that's how oxygen is left with 4 electrons, that is 2 lone pairs of electrons over itself. So oxygen has 2 lone pairs of electrons over itself in this case as well. So how to draw the resonating structures? We have given a simple mnemonic of top to middle and middle to top, and 2 electrons means 1 negative charge. Let us draw this here once again. 2 electrons means 1 negative charge means 1 bond. Let us use this concept. So let us again, what I have told you, search for the pi electrons in the system. These are pi electrons since these are lone pair of electrons, and these are pi electrons as well because these are pi bonded electrons, and in a double bond these pi this one is a sigma bond and one is a pi bond. The one which is a pi bond are definitely pi electrons. So let us draw the resonating structures. Now what I have done is top to middle and middle to top. Now let us see how does it look. It should look somewhat like this because oxygen now acquires a positive charge because it has given away 2 of its electrons, and 2 of its electrons means a 1 negative charge. If it is given away, then it means a positive charge, and if it is acquired, it means a negative charge. Since this has acquired, this is going to be a negative charge. Now how to draw the next resonating structures? Now if this is a negative charge, you draw this top to middle and from this middle to this top. Now what is this structure going to look like? This structure is going to look like somewhat this. Now you try to pause the video and draw the other resonating structures. What is the next resonating structure going to look like? This is not a 0, okay? This is just a circle to denote that this is a negative charge, okay? So this is again top to middle of this bond and from middle to top of the corresponding bond, okay? So how is the next structure going to look like? I forgot that I have already drawn it over here. So it is going to look somewhat like this. Now the next structure is going to be top to middle. Forgive me for this. This is not the exact middle of this bond, but it has to be drawn in a way that it touches the middle of this bond and from middle to top of this bond. So how will it look like? It is going to look somewhat like this. Can you see the difference between this structure and this structure? It's basically the same. The pi electrons have actually migrated inside the 6 carbon atoms present here. It's the same like benzene. So but in case of phenol, you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resonating structures. In case of phenol, you are getting 5 resonating structures, and you are using the simple concept of top to middle and middle to top in this case as well. But if you see in the second condition, what we have told is all resonating structures should have same charge. Total charge should be the same on all the resonating structures, and that has what been seen here. You see the this resonating structure has a total charge of 0. In this case as well, this is 1 positive charge, 1 negative charge, adds up to 0. In this case, 1 positive charge, 1 negative charge, adds up to 0. In this case, 1 positive charge, 1 negative charge, adds up to 0. In this case, this is a neutral species, so this is also going to be 0. So all the structures have same charge, and the sigma skeleton is basically the same across the molecule. So these 5 are going to be considered as legitimate resonating structures of phenol. Now let us go to the next example. This example is also almost the same like phenol. This is This molecule is known as aniline. This is known as aniline. Now nitrogen. What is your class 10 knowledge of electronic configuration of nitrogen? Is going to be 2 5. Okay, so if nitrogen is forming, suppose in this case it is something like this. Let me draw it for you in a simple way. It has two hydrogens attached to it. So in this covalent bond, one electron is from nitrogen, one electron is from hydrogen. In this bond, one electron is from nitrogen, one electron is from hydrogen. In this bond as well, one electron is from nitrogen, one electron is from this carbon. So nitrogen is now left with 5 minus 3, 2 electrons, that is a single lone pair of electron over itself. I believe you have understood it well. In this case, there are 3 covalent bonds attached to this nitrogen. So each covalent bond will eat up one of nitrogen's valence electrons, and finally nitrogen is left up with 5 minus 3, that is 2 electrons, that is one single lone pair of electron over itself. So we can represent it like this. So single lone pair of electron over itself, we write it like this to denote the lone pair of electrons. This is not a zero, mind it. In all these cases, this is not a zero, this is just a way. So how to write this? Now again, if you see, you can move the molecule, you can move the electrons, from this top to middle and middle to top, and you see you get a structure like this. And in this case as well, you can move from top to middle and from middle to top, and you get something like this. Again, in this case as well, you can move from top to middle and from middle to top. You get something like this, from top to middle and middle to top. You get something like this. You can understand very well. In this case, nitrogen has given out electrons, so it has acquired a positive charge. Since this has accepted electrons, it has acquired a negative charge, and this negative charge is delocalized by this way, from top to middle, middle to top, using these covalent bonds. And now since this bond, that means 2 electrons and 1 negative charge, this is opening up on this, so this positive charge gets neutralized and we are left up with this molecule, with this structure rather. So you can see in this case as well, it's only the position of the pi bonds that has shifted. You see the pi bonds here in this case was here, here and here. In this case you can see it is here, here and here. Is the same as that of phenol. So in this case as well, all the structures have the same charge. You see, this was a neutral structure, neutral species. In this case the total charge was +1, -1, that is 0, it adds up to 0. In this case as well it is 0, in this case as well it is 0, in this case this is a neutral molecule, so definitely 0. So this also satisfied all the conditions necessary for resonance. So these 5 are also resonating structures of aniline. Now in both these examples, what have we done? We have delocalized the lone pair over a sigma bond with the pi electron. That is, sigma is again acting as a bridge. You see, this has moved, the pi electrons has moved. When I move like this, it's not the sigma bond which is moving, it's the pi bond which is moving. So the pi electrons have moved and it has taken assistance from this sigma bond. I believe it is clear. In this case as well, this negative charge means pi electrons. This has moved taking assistance from this sigma bond, and the pi electrons of this double bond has moved. So the pi electrons are the ones which are moving and not the sigma electrons. In the first class, what we have learned is the movement of pi electrons over sigma bond, and in this case we have learned movement of lone pair of electrons with the help of a sigma bond. Now let us get into some more resonating structures. Now if we try to draw the resonating structure of this molecule, this is again, you see there are no lone pair of electrons over any of the atoms here. So how can this delocalize? In the last example, what I have showed is, if it is an atom to bond migration, or from a bond to atom migration, then follow the principle of top to middle and middle to top, top to middle and middle to top. But in this case, what we are going to follow, since there are no lone pair of electrons, so there is not going to be any kind of top to middle transitions. So in this case, the pi electrons over this is going to move, you see. And when in case of bond to bond migration, mind this, just remember these two mnemonics, all resonating structures are going to be easy. It is going to be, if the migration is from a bond to bond, it is going to be middle to middle migration. It is going to be middle to middle migration. So what is it? Let me show it. This, in this case, this is the pi bond which is going to move, or this is the pi bond which is going to move, whatever you want. If you move it like this, you show like middle to middle, and from, you see, from middle to top, because this was from a bond to atom. If it would be from a bond to atom migration, then it will be middle to top. You see, bond to atom transition or migration is always from middle to top, but since this is from a bond to a bond, it is always middle to middle. That's how it is easier to understand. You see, since it has gone from here, it has acquired a positive charge, because again one bond means two electrons, one negative charge. If it has gone, then it will be a positive charge. And since this has ended up on this, so there's going to be a negative charge on this, and the structure is going to look somewhat like this. In this case, the basic sigma skeleton is also the same. The total charge on this system is 0, and the total charge on this system is also 0. So both these systems can be considered as legitimate resonating structures, since both the conditions are met. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss in this class. In the next class, what we are going to talk about is something more about resonance. We are going to explore the conditions of resonance in a little more detail, and we are going to say what, in this case, if you have seen, there are many resonating structures. There are 5 resonating structures. Which resonating structure is going to contribute more to the resonant hybrid? In case of benzene, since both the structures were equivalent, both of them contributed equally. But in this case, in both these cases, the structures are not equivalent, so they are not going to contribute equally. What are the conditions that are going to govern the contribution of one structure over another is something we are going to study in the next video. So thank you for watching this. If you like it, then please do share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.